Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Red Web, your superhero comic book talk show. I'm, of course, your host, Brad West, and joining me today, Mr. Greg Anthony Burrow from Dragular Comic Fantasy on Anderson Lane. Make sure you check them out, especially in this Saturday the 14th, because...
Free Comic Book Day!
And
also Pride Parade.
And Pride Parade, so it's going to be a busy weekend here in Austin.
It's going to be a very busy weekend.
We're going to be popping by all of our supporters and affiliates here in Austin Comic Books and giving you the lowdown on the free comic books. If you do go by Dragon's Lair, I know they're going to be doing a drive-through model, so that you don't even have to get out of the car. You don't have to worry about COVID protocols.
The heat is going to be too much.
Crazy heat in Austin. That sucks.
Yeah. It's hot out there. Hydrate. Protect yourself,
Hydrate.
guys.
Please do. And read comics. And then, of course, Miss Honest Sandra Anderson, who is going to be helping keeping us a little bit honest. She has to give us some of the woohoo facts. And lots of heart in the show today. We're going to be talking about the second of the Disney Plus Marvel show, premium shows, which, of course, was Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You mean Captain America.
Captain America.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So one of the things we were talking about before yesterday when we were talking about WandaVision was that I'm very happy to have a premium format limited series as opposed to multiple seasons of a series.
Yes.
I do feel that Falcon and the Winter Soldier needs to be... Season 2 needs to be a different series, and it needs to be Captain America and the White Wolf. That's what I feel. I feel it needs a season 2. It needs a season 2, but its season 2 is Captain America and the White Wolf.
Right?
All I'm going to say is Anthony Mackie can do no wrong.
Anthony Mackie's amazing.
He is so
I've met him in person, and he is amazing. He is a
really
wonderful
sweet.
human
I
being.
have heard he's incredibly great.
I love how he's inspirational to children.
I couldn't tell you if Sebastian Stan's a nice person or not because I get starstruck and goo-goo-eyed every time I touch him.
He was really nice when we met him.
He was really nice when we met him, but I'm melting in his arms, so I can only give you so much of him.
He liked your jacket because he does. Brad does Bucky.
Bucky from the first movie.
And I think that didn't he tell you that he'd never seen anybody?
Yeah, he didn't never see anybody. He'd never seen anybody make a replica. He noted on the replica because most people he gets the comic book cons that he interacts with are Winter Soldier. They're like, because, Winter Soldier's badass and has the long hair and blah, 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 blah. And, it's easier for girls to cosplay him, et cetera, et cetera. But he was actually impressed that not only was I Bucky as he appeared in the first Avenger, but when I told him that I had constructed it myself and made the replica myself, he was, really impressed. So, okay, he might not have been impressed, but he was gracious enough to pretend like he was.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So, that's the point. So yeah, that was wonderful. That became known as on my birthday. All my friends pitched in and got a photo op, and of course, Greg and I, as Captain America and Bucky, we went and got pictures with him, and so it was wonderful. But yes, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was so much. I loved it. It had Easter eggs. It had good storyline. It had good interpretations of characters from the comic book.
Incredibly well written. Incredibly well acted.
Oh, it was so good. And if you do, it's like, and for most of us who don't see Black superhero representation very often, these three shows had all of it.
Yes.
It was so good.
Well, not just Black superheroes, Asian superheroes, and minority superheroes.
Right, but we were killing it. It's especially this one. This one was a very big love story to Black superheroes.
It was.
I love that they went there. I love that Elijah was there.
Elijah was there. Isaiah was there. They didn't shy away. And again, we talked. Here's the caveat. One of my biggest fears, way back when Disney announced the acquisition of Marvel, was that they were going to just homogenize everything. Nope. I do feel that the format of the limited series on the station does give them a little bit more freedom to explore more of those issues.
To be bold.
And it paid off. Falcon and the Winter Soldier especially, it paid off. We not only got we got Black superhero representation. I know the character of his friend, his army friend, his liaison in the army.
That's supposed to be Falcon. That's the new Falcon.
Who will be the new Falcon was apparently Falcon in the comic books. We had one point when Falcon became Captain America in the comic book, he had a replacement Falcon who was Hispanic, and so I'm looking forward to that. So
it's like But if you've seen my first Black superhero representation episode, we talked about Isaiah Bradley,
Mm-hmm.
who is the official Captain America. It's like it ripped
He was
my heart.
after.
Or yeah, he was after, but he was one of the underrepresented ones, and it ripped my heart out the entire time. It was so
made me
good.
so happy that they went there, that they had him.
And Carl Lundy.
And they talked about it.
Carl Lundy,
It's like
guys.
it wasn't just a he walked in the scene and was like, yo, and then left. Like, they actually have a beautiful in-depth story talking about what happened to him. They took his trauma seriously and they gave him what he deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love
Or
that
something.
scene.
Oh, that was
And the Smithsonian.
Or the Smithsonian. Yes.
Oh my god, I cried like once through each of these. It's like WandaVision was the
Really, I
love
cried through
persevering
that 3 or
one.
4 times.
Falcon the Winter Soldier, yes, the very end of it where he takes him to the Smithsonian, I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, Jesus Christ.
And there's so much, they did such a good job with the symbolism.
Yeah.
And just even the idea of not just what is Captain America, but what is America? What is it to be an American?
Well,
what is it to be
what I love is
patriotic?
when-
What is it to love your country?
What I loved is when he gave the speech
He
to
did.
the politicians.
Let's go
And
good.
it didn't sound cheesy.
And
It
didn't
sounded
hold
like it was
back.
from the heart.
It was.
It sounded like it was like something
But you
coming
know
straight
what?
from the
Any,
heart.
any other actor, I don't think it would have played. I think that's another situation where it was a good speech.
Anthony
yes,
Mackie's
Anthony,
just
But
that
it's
good.
because of
Coming from,
yeah,
because of the fact that she just basically got shafted
Yeah.
hardcore by all of her friends.
yeah,
I mean, they
was-
didn't even think
and they
about her.
didn't
They
think about it.
didn't
It's
check on
Oh,
her.
that's right. There's you over here. We
Yeah.
forgot. Oops.
Yeah,
My bad.
oops.
which we talked about the plot twist that we saw coming. That was literally the plot twist that the first episode came out. We're like, oh yeah, that's
Your
what she's
power.
here for.
Yeah. We know what you are.
But
we know what's happening.
I'm kind of in the middle with Brad, where I'm like, it was kind of silly. I kind of made a face when they decided, hey, by the way, that's going to be the plot twist. But I was like, I'll give it
And
another
Baron
movie,
Nemo.
I guess.
Yeah, it's got
Baron
something.
Nemo.
It,
Oh my God, he was so
Baron
good.
Zemo.
Baron
okay.
Zemo's
Zemo.
And they tried, and he was interesting because they tried to make him more of a Killmonger. They tried to give him more of a sympathetic villain, more of an empathy with the bad guy kind of thing.
Is it Zemo Dark Avengers?
And Zemo actually creates the Thunderbolts.
The other one.
The
yes.
Thunderbolts, which is
Okay.
very similar, which is kind of what I'm thinking.
They're kind of melding
kinda-
the two. It's
In
fine.
fact, if you we've done a show on this before, they actually kind of cross over, and at one point the Dark Avengers changes its name to Thunderbolts, and at one point the Thunderbolts changes its name to Dark Avenger. So they're kind of some of them are interchangeable.
Nobody's wrong.
So that's fair. Nobody's wrong.
Nobody's wrong.
But the thing is that they in the Civil War movie they tried to give him more core, and I'm like, okay, well, it's applaudable. You felt it more in this.
Yeah.
You know, and my
Yes,
favorite
oh my
part of
God.
it, my favorite part is like, he's like, have you even been to the memorial? No, why would you? Why would you?
Although they had a
Why
couple
would you?
scenes that like nearly made me tear my hair out because he makes it pretty clear what his intentions are and how he feels about things, and then they decide to go do something, and then he does
And then
something
they're like,
crazy. And I'm like,
"What?"
what the-" Yes, because they had a scene where, like, literally the second before, he was like, "I hate these super soldiers. I want them all dead."
And then he
And then
obliterates the stuff.
they turn around and he shoots the guy who's making the super soldiers, and they're like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "You were just there.
He already told you this.
He just told you." It's like he knows.
And I love the fact that when as soon as he saw that super serum, he didn't
didn't
hesitate.
hesitate.
He was over there stomping on it, trying to.
He made quick work of it, and everyone was so shocked.
He wasn't a hypocrite. He straight up. He's like, no, it was like this is
Right?
what's happening.
And then at the end, even though nobody saw it, it's like it's like the rest of the super soldiers get blown up, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And there's like, "Yeah." Of course, he was going to blow them up.
Mm-hmm. So, favorite two scenes. We're gonna go with this thing. You got to pick your best emotional scene, your best action scene.
At the Smithsonian.
At the Smithsonian emotional scene.
The Smithsonian is the one that I'm
Because
immediately like.
I was like,
that broke me.
yeah, I was really happy to see that. Favorite fight scene? That's just really
Not necessarily fight scene, but action scene.
Dormelage. Kicking butt. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for a limited series. Ryan Coolidge is
they're
working
doing it.
on a limited. Yeah,
Are they?
Yes, they're working on a Dormelage limited series, and I'm ready
Perfect.
for that.
That is what they should have done.
Board. I'm totally on board.
Because I love strong
good.
female characters,
But
and they are.
You really didn't get the fun of Okoye. With Ayo. It's Ayo. Okoye. Yeah, we got a lot of Okoye. But you didn't get any of the fun of Ayo in Black Panther. You get to see her in Civil War when she faces off with Black Widow at the limo, and it's hilarious. You know that there's more to her.
Well,
and she kind of got shafted in the main Black Panther movie. So to have her, not just the Dormelage, but to have her and not Okoye was really fun to see them. Like we don't have this one badass chick. We got a whole team of them.
Yeah, they are all.
And it kind of digs into the point of the Dormelage, because there were a lot of people whose feelings were hurt by that scene, even though I'm like, you're being a baby for no reason. Because literally, the entire reason that core of people exists is to protect the king. It's like, the guy has superpowers. And these are the people he calls his
secret, and this is his secret service.
It's like, so to pretend that it's unrealistic that they could disarm somebody, let alone a guy that they literally rebuilt by hand. Of course they could.
Yeah. That was actually,
it's like,
that was fun.
That's what they're for.
I love it.
That's why they're here.
I love it. It's like, yeah, of course they have an off switch. What are you? That was your bad.
Well, also the whole thing is that they knew that he didn't want to hurt them, and they didn't want to hurt him, so they just.
It's like,
here.
It's like,
that actually is my favorite funny part though. Is his face is like, her puppy is like,
what?
Yeah.
It's like, and she's like, whoop, hop, boom, boom, arm.
Right? It's like, it was a fun scene, and people were trying to be like, this is unrealistic, and I'm like, but why?
But why?
But why is it unrealistic?
That makes perfect sense.
They fought in the war.
Okay.
It's like, they have the thing. They fought in the war.
So, favorite emotional scene?
It's like, yes, the Smithsonian scene, just, I lost it. It's like, I will admit I teared up a little bit during the Battlestar Death scene.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the Smithsonian scene, watching Isaiah come in and see his statue and start crying, I absolutely lost it.
Yeah.
Favorite action scene?
Well, now I need to pick a different one.
It's hard. There's so many good ones.
I know. Well, and the problem is that all the ones with what's her name were kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally sitting here mulling through them, and it's like the final episode.
The final one, yes. That was what I was going to say. When he shows up in the Captain America suit with the wings in all the red, white, blue glory. That was the best action scene. Just him like shoo coming down. I'm like, okay,
it's comic.
There's so much about I loved about that.
Yes. Now, my favorite emotional scene is it's not always necessarily the sad stuff. It's a happy stuff. It's a positive one. My favorite emotional scene is the community, the cookout on the boat. The community comes together. It's this whole
very Cajun, very Cajun.
Yeah. Very Cajun, very much what I grew up around, and just having everybody welcoming and coming in and sharing and feasting and supporting each other in the community, and you realize this is what a Captain America should be about. This is what Captain America needs to represent,
but also,
black or white or otherwise. It was beautiful.
But also what I love is that Sam's Captain America uniform is from Wakanda.
Yes.
And so I love the fact that he's able to do so much more with those wings now than he ever could. Like, he dug into that asphalt.
I will admit, when he does the impact thing and the wings go boom.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Shield. Have you seen the meme that goes around and it's got Killmonger and he's like, what? He's like,
right?
You give him all of this? What the hell, man?
But
don't kill me for this.
It's like, but I think that's why I liked the Isaiah Bradley scene so much, because it started to. I mean, one, it wasn't sad; it was amazing. Like, this is what we needed.
It was still tear jerky, though.
Yeah, it's like, but it kind of fed into this is who Sam is as a person. He decided that he is worth his due, so he's going to give him something nice. He's going to give him something nice, and he's going to make sure, like, this isn't just about who he is generally as Captain America. This is who he is in the broad spectrum.
Not only
of
that, but I mean, I think that it was
representation.
important, not only as representation, but I think it's important. It's kind of like that whole thing about not paying attention to history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Oh yeah,
And getting that out of the black.
very
and
topical.
getting it
And
out
that
in
goes straight into
front of
critical race
everything.
theory. It's like
Yeah.
we can't bury this part of the past. It's not
Yeah.
helping anybody.
It's like, well, and even though, yes, he makes the joke at the beginning where he's like, ha ha ha, it's like, I'm the Black Falcon, really? It's like he goes from like being like, hey, I want to be completely separate from this stuff, to embracing it and being like, yes, me being in this position is more than just about me being another Captain America.
Right.
Like,
Well, and it's not just him. It's not just him taking over as Captain America. That's why I said I like the scene at the end where they're having the community get together, because
So
it also shows Sam taking over for Steve Rogers, especially
Yeah.
the compassion he has.
he's a
for,
good
like,
person.
And you have the funny mismatched buddy cop vibe of him and Bucky, from the other movies. But by the end of it, he's really learned to understand and have this compassion and understand the trauma that Bucky went through and his need and for what he does and for he appreciates for Steve.
Everybody deserves an award for
He's
this.
now there.
Yeah.
He's now there for Bucky, and he's
Thank
there
you
for
so
Bucky.
much, Sebastian Stan. Thank you
Yeah.
so much,
Okay.
Anthony Mackie. Thank you, everyone who took part in
And
making this
these
happen.
characters just
Yeah.
so rich.
Yeah.
And to me, of the three Disney ones, I have to honestly say, I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was
This was
the
hands down my favorite.
And also, I think it's pretty wild because it shut down in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
So they actually had to come back and film the second half. And there was actually a whole storyline that they had to erase from the show.
I think I heard that.
So there was actually a pandemic storyline through the entire the entire show.
Yes, the
and
reason
they
that
took it out.
yeah, whenever what's her name?
Blows
I
up
keep
that
calling
one-
her Freckles.
Yeah.
I just keep calling her Freckles.
I don't remember.
But
Flag
she has
Smasher.
the-
I just remember she's their version of the Flag Smashers.
Yeah, I keep calling her Freckles. It's like, but the woman who dies that she goes to the funeral of,
Mhm.
she's supposed to have died of something like that. She was
And then
supposed
also
to have
when
died
she
of that.
blows up that first aid center,
It's
they
because
take all the
I knew
that was supposed
That's
to
what
be
they were doing there.
And that I remember. That actually they kind of
Yeah.
did kind of.
Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
supposed to be like the
Vaccine.
vaccine
Yeah.
for that's why she was stealing it for the refugees.
Okay, yeah.
I still feel like they could have committed to that.
They
I
could
mean,
have, but
But they decided to pull that entire storyline. So that's why
they
there's
refer to it as
certain
they
things.
do refer to it as first aid for refugees. So
Yeah.
right? It's like, but I mean, I generally liked her as yes, she was a very smart, she was a very smart villain in this. It's just the problem is the rest of it's kind of it's.
all right, well that was
We've
our
got
review
enough.
of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Thank you for joining us on the Red Web. We're going to continue tomorrow with our summertime end of summer back to school review. We're going to be talking about Loki.
Yes.
In the meantime,
We won't talk as long as
And
that
there
one.
will
I'm
be
sorry.
spoilers.
There will be spoilers. There will be spoilers. So in the meantime, make sure you go to our parent affiliation with Kajulas Media on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Make sure you watch and follow and share. And catch us the rest of the week. This has been the Red Web. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.